Hello, I'm very pleased to announce that I've written a book. Yes, and it's in the name of John Ebrington, and I've also set up a YouTube channel in the name of John Ebrington. Anyway, the book, here it is called You the Sentencer and What Would You Choose by John Ebrington. So, and it's available on Amazon UK. So do have a look for it. Now, I must confess that writing has never come easy to me. I'm a dual national. I was brought up both in England and France. And throughout my life, I have struggled a bit with my writing. And indeed, when I was about 7 years old, following having spent a period of about a year in France, I came back to the UK, and when I went to school, I just stopped talking for quite a period, and this is called selective mutism. And basically, I just stopped talking completely, and the school assessed me as having difficulties. Learning difficulties. They said that I was educationally subnormal was the label that they gave me at the time. And my parents were quite upset by this, and they moved me to another school that was smaller and a bit more hospitable, really. I think possibly I was struggling to adjust from the warmth and the friendliness of being with my French grandparents and the warm affection to being in quite a big school, I think, that was kind of a different culture to the French, and that wasn't particularly at the time very friendly towards me. Anyway, back to my book. What it's about. So basically, I was just trying to point out that writing has never come easy to me, and I've struggled to write this book, believe me. And I never did particularly well at school, but I became a probation officer later in life as a mature student, because when I left school, I had insufficient O and A levels really to become a probation officer straight away or to go to university. So I'm a kind of university of life man. So you'll note from the book that I write in a very straightforward manner. I'm not academic at all, so it's pretty much my own style. And the book is incredibly different from any other book that you'll come across. Now, the reason why is throughout the book, it is interactive and participative. And the way I've done it in that, what I've done is there are 3 interactive and participative sections. The first section will involve you, the reader, in interviewing an offender, and I've written out the offender's answers to the questions, and you, the reader, will be making an assessment of the people's answers. Are they being truthful? Do they show remorse for their offence? What are their attitudes to their offence? Do they have problems? Are there issues that contributed towards them offending? Things like that. The next section contains a number of court reports. These are based on real cases dating from the 1990s, from which I've made notes. But all the identities and circumstances of the offence have been radically changed, in that the people involved will not be able to recognise themselves because all the names are different, all the places are different, and some of the details like how many brothers and sisters they have and things like that will be different. But other factors will be the same. The idea of this really is I want to put over, many people thirst for sending people to prison, don't they? But what I'm trying to put over are, in these court reports, are the reasons very often for why people offend. And it kind of tells their life stories. And anecdotally, most probation officers will be able to tell you that big factors are the way people grew up in their lives. What sort of backgrounds do they come from? What were their childhoods like? An incredible number of offenders are people who have dropped out of school, and that in itself is an important pointer. Drug issues are a massive, massive problem as well, as you'll discover from the book. So the book covers every sort of offence that you can think of, and people from all walks of life. There's a young woman who's committed a violent offence, which in itself is quite unusual for women to commit violent offences. And then you've got all sorts of other cases, some involving drugs. And there's even a high class, upper class person there who I call Lord something or other. And there's even discussion about police who've got into trouble. You know, on occasion I've had to write reports on policemen who have got into trouble with the law. So people tend to stereotype offenders, don't they? But believe me, any people can get into trouble. And this is what the book's about. In the final section, I really like this section actually, are all sorts of dilemmas for you to think about. And I just put them there. Some of them I discuss possible answers, but many of them are just simply there for you to work out for yourself. And some of them, there's no right or wrong answers. But the whole object of the book, one root factor throughout the book, is the reoccurring question is that how can we as a society go about tackling the root causes of crime? Because just simply sending people to prison is not working, really, in my view. The criminal justice system is fully stretched at the moment and it's really struggling. The courts are insufficiently funded to work properly and they're struggling. Legal aid has been slashed. The probation service is struggling. The police are struggling. Our prisons are full. The whole criminal justice system is struggling. And it's time really that instead of just saying, oh, let's give people 2 more years or 6 more years for this offence in the hope that it will deter people from offending, in my opinion, we need to start looking more at the root causes of crime. And through reading my book, You the Sentencer, I hope people will start to figure out for themselves what some of the causes are and what some of the possible solutions are. So hopefully you'll find it interesting and stimulating. There are quite a few little anecdotal stories of mine, which I hope you'll find quite interesting too. And I hope you find it a really stimulating and interesting read. So to finish up on this, really, basically, do look out for my book, You the Sentencer. It's by John Ebrington, which is my pen name, and you can find it on Amazon UK. Do please also look out for John Ebrington's YouTube channel, which actually discusses further some of the issues I touch upon in the book and covers all sorts of topics, from difficult dilemmas to issues within the criminal justice system. And it's well worth having a look at John Ebrington's YouTube channel. So there you go. There's John Ebrington, and look forward to seeing you there soon. All the very best now. Bye-bye.